I still can't believe what I'm reading here, as I never thought I would see the day that Steam, who is notoriously stingy and tight-fisted when relenting to a gamer's request for a refund, is actually publicly acknowledging that they are issuing full refunds to players that purchased Battlefield 2042. Hello everyone, Buzz here, and before we get into today's video, as I review over these refunds and a myriad of other issues with Battlefield, I wanted to say that you have all been really supportive of my channel as of late, and we are now within a few hundred subscribers of reaching that magical, mythical 75,000 subscriber mark. And with that, if you haven't already, I would be most appreciative if you would go ahead and hit that sub button and ring the bell to receive all future upload notifications from my channel. So based on this recent article from Charlie Intel, link in the video description, and their headline reads, Steam giving Battlefield 2042 refunds as players claim the game as broken. And it goes on to say, Battlefield 2042 has been going downhill ever since its release, with players complaining about bugs and the lack of updates. Recently, the game even placed, and listen to this, at the very bottom of Steam's most played games list as the player base declined massively. That last sentence in itself is truly a feat, and you know we've got to jump over to the Steam charts and take a look at this. So as of the morning of publication for this video, Battlefield 2042 is at a current player count of just 7,242 with a 24-hour peak of just 8,948. Is that right? I guess it is. Anyway, this is down from their all-time peak of 100,590 back in the month of November. For me, this is just beyond shocking, as Battlefield 2042 launched on early access November 12th and then fully launched on November 19th. So we're talking less than 2 months ago. Now, just popping in those figures to the old calculator and from the all-time peak down to the most recent 24-hour peak, and when you divide 8,948 by 100,590, you get, whoa, 8.9%. Battlefield 2042 has just under 9% of its original player count still playing this game, and this is from a Battlefield game in a franchise that is known to capture and keep players' attention for thousands of hours and over the course of years of gameplay involvement. By comparison, Battlefield 5, a game that EA literally kicked to the curb and stomped all over like a piece of trash, is sitting at 18,828 players, with a 24-hour peak of 21,128, and just throwing this in there, it also had an all-time peak of 89,814, and this is from a Battlefield game that is over 3 years old. Players are literally quitting the newer Battlefield 2042 and going back and playing the older version. And this is arguably an iteration of Battlefield that just wasn't universally loved. And they're also doing so by a ratio of over 2-to-1. I'm still just sitting here in disbelief that Battlefield has fallen this far as a franchise. 2 months later, and a Battlefield game can't muster 10,000 players worldwide on the Steam charts is just something I never envisioned saying in a video. Jumping back to this Charlie Intel article, and it continues on, usually to get a refund on Steam, there are policies players have to abide by. For example, you must have purchased the game within 14 days of the request and also played the title for no more than 2 hours. Now this I can absolutely attest to. I went through that crazy week 1 New World debacle where I got to play the game for maybe about 2 hours, and I spent a further 9 hours waiting in server queues, and after 3 failed attempts with Steam to get a refund, I have been denied each time for exceeding that 2-hour playtime window, which I will never agree with that decision, but yeah. Anyway, despite these policies, it seems the discontent with Battlefield 2042 is causing Steam to look past these requirements, offering refunds for those who are dissatisfied with the game's performance, with one Steam customer claiming it as broken. And then they've got this screenshot of the actual Steam client customer complaint that reads, "Hello dear Steam support. I would have less than 2 hours of playtime if I didn't spend 2 hours in the settings because of the bug where the game was resetting my controls or not allowing me to rebind them. The broken state of the game and its bugs did not allow me to test the game properly, which is the reason I wish to refund the game. And my refund request was within the 14 days but was declined due to 4 hours playtime. Once again, I ask you to reconsider and provide me with a refund for this broken, buggy game. I am using Steam for 15 years, and I hope you can make an exception and refund me the game. I am very frustrated and annoyed with this game, and I am sure you are aware of the situation with it. And then there's a response from Steam support. As a customer service gesture, we issued the refund for this purchase. The item has been removed from the account and a credit has been applied to your Steam wallet. The credit can be used for future Steam purchases. These refunds in and of itself, again, just blows my mind. Steam issuing full refunds? No matter what version you purchased or how you paid for it, just goes to show you how poorly this game was launched and how it has been overwhelmingly rejected by the player base. EA is getting a taste of what happens when you overhype a truly subpar product and then your consumers just all out retaliate. And I say EA because as Steam issues these refunds, expect them to then recoup their funds from EA. So ultimately, EA is the one feeling the effects of these mass-scale refunds, which is really where the finger needs to be pointed. Now, just grabbing a 30,000-foot view here, but gamers play games, and this might be a total newsflash to EA, but they play games to have fun. When you push out a product that is buggy, shockingly lacking in combat, and stripped of most of those classic features that made the franchise what it is, players, or as EA calls them, consumers, are not going to buy your product. Even just calling this Battlefield anymore seems a bit cringe to me. Without the classes, without those classic modes, and without basic features like a freaking scoreboard, voice chat, and a million other what DICE calls legacy features, it just isn't Battlefield anymore. Now with specializations, everyone can use the exact same kit. Everyone is using the exact same weapons. Everyone can revive any teammate despite not being a medic, and you have access to all the same tech. And you know why EA went with specialization, so they could stock the microtransactions up to the freaking ceiling with these in their online stores and charge players to gain access to everything. Hell, even the badass and beloved Battlefield theme song has been butchered to what sounds like metallic scraping noises and whale sounds. The article finishes with, as you can see, Steam offered this user a full refund for Battlefield 2042 and credit. Further, this wasn't the first time they had requested a refund, as it seems they have been previously declined a refund due to their 4 hours of game time. So, for those who are experiencing something similar and wish to receive a refund for Battlefield 2042, make sure you message Steam and be persistent. Steam is most likely aware that the game is an issue and that players are frustrated with the broken nature of the game, preventing players from playing it. Of course, if you have loads of game time, this will make your request much more difficult, as it seems this user may have been an exception. And the hits just keep on coming as EA DICE continues to blunder through this post-launch period when they decided to remove Rush, a fan favorite despite outcries from the player base to make it a permanent fixture in the game's rotation. I think this post over on the Battlefield subreddit pretty much sums it all up. DICE, listening to the community again, and it just simply shows a tweet announcing that EA DICE has removed the Rush game mode from Portal. And just look at how many upvotes this post has. That's staggering at nearly 15,000. And speaking of Portal, which seems to be the strongest motivator for players to actually return and play 2042, it just feels a bit odd, right? Players purchased the new game, found all-out Snorfare to be awful, never embraced Hazard Zone because it's just poorly implemented, found the lack of legacy items like a scoreboard missing, and in the end, those players have actually gravitated over to Portal. They purchased the new game that cost in some cases in excess of $100, and they find that most of the new game to just be trash. So instead, they played the old versions of the game via Portal. And even then, EA did their very best to push players away from those old game modes to the new by severely throttling XP that could be gained in Portal. Now, taking this all into account, players that purchased this game were obviously dismayed, leading to a lot of shit posting and negative feedback on Reddit, prompting EA DICE to actually threaten taking down the subreddit altogether. Taking a look at Steam, and Battlefield 2042 has over 85,000 reviews with a mostly negative review rating. And let's just check out this highly rated review by user Gammy Wombat, and it reads, "Let's launch an all-star game. Promote it like crazy, knowing you have a BF hardcore group who will buy, but the newbies on the block get sucked into the hype. We all find out it is the worst BF release to date, incomplete, bug-ridden, laggy mess. Even the simple things of the quality of the textures is second class. What's going on? And within months, you're smashing the price down by 34% as no one is buying it anymore. Are you still trying to work out why this is? Read the reviews here. Sell the franchise to someone who cares, please, EA. You don't care anymore and have milked enough out of what was originally a classic game that we would all spend hundreds of hours on. Yes, I have been here since the first one. So many great memories of such a great game back then. It's been ruined. I'm out. I write very little reviews, but had to this time. Do I recommend? Equals no." I mean, I can't add much to this. I mean, it pretty much sums it all up. They launched a buggy, content-light game built to copy other successful titles, modeled to capitalize on the monetization model, all while forgetting who they were and what Battlefield is. Looking back, I could have just shortened this video down to like 20 seconds and simply said that Battlefield 2042 has less than 9% of its original player base. Now, I don't know if Vince Zampella, who is now in charge of the franchise, will have enough juice to right the wrongs this franchise has unleashed on its loyal player base, but clearly, with Battlefield 2042, EA DICE attempted to make having fun in a Battlefield game a legacy feature. Please remember to hit that subscribe button for more daily uploads and ring the bell to get those upload alerts. If you liked the video, give it a like, and I always welcome your thoughts in the comment section below. You can find and follow me on Twitch, as I am a partnered streamer. Join my community Discord server and follow me on Twitter, posting my thoughts on most things gaming related. Links to all of these social platforms are in the video description below. Until the next one, this is LtBuzzLitebeer, signing off.